Hello everybody, my name is Elif Işınsu Satoğlu. Today I'm going to talk about the film named Gattaca, which released in 1997. It's written and directed by Andrew Niccol. Leading stars were Ethan Hawke and Jude Law. So, Gattaca takes place in the 21st century in a world which is genetically enhanced. In this world, everything's about your DNA. Film shows us that what would happen if genetic engineers changed unborn babies' DNAs without no limits, just for making the perfect humans. Humans who are genetically modified to be successful in life. In this society, naturally born people with the disease genes called invalid and the others who are genetically perfect called valets. So the main character is Vincent, portrayed by Ethan Hawke. He is the one of the last natural babies born into this world. Right after he born, they made a checkup to him only with his blood to see if his DNA works. They discovered that he would be myopic, and there is a 99% of possibility that he would have a heart disease. They said expected lifetime is 30 years for him. He's blonde with fair skin, he uses glasses, and has a standard height with slim body. He has the dream of going to space. The other main character is his brother Anton, portrayed by Elias Koteas. After Vincent born with invalid genes, his parents went to the doctor, we can also say a genetic engineer, to have a valid baby. Then Anton born, who is genetically modified and way too better than Vincent. And the last main character is Jerome, portrayed by Jude Law. Jerome was a valid athlete who is not able to walk anymore. He was depressed and mentally ill because of he's not so valid anymore. The film settled in the corporation named Gattaca, which is doing work about space and Saturn. So the first thing which stuck in my mind in the movie is the words of Vincent. He starts telling his story with these words. They used to say that a child conceived in love has a greater chance of happiness. They don't say it anymore. So this sentence is the first thing which made me understood about the movie at first place. So Vincent was a fake baby and his brother was the perfect one. While they were growing up together, he was exposed to discrimination even from his parents. Even though he was worse athlete than his brother Anton, they were getting into swimming race. Vincent failed every time while they were doing it. But till the last one he failed. When they were both teenagers, Vincent finally won the race against his brother, Anton. It was the time Vincent believed that everything was possible in this life. There was a chance that he could reach his biggest dream, going to space. So he left home and he went to Gattaca. Even though he worked so hard and got the high scores from the test, Gattaca rejected him. Then he started to work Gattaca as a cleaner, like the lowest level. He didn't give up and he worked so hard to learn everything about space theoretically, and he improved his body too much. However, it wasn't enough, so he found a guy who can help him to break the rules of this world by giving Vincent a fake ID, which belongs to Jerome. Then the evolution of becoming Jerome from Vincent began. So the second important thing is which stuck in my mind is the murder of the guy who was doing blood tests to check if employers are well at Gattaca. He was so close to learn the truth about Vincent, now Jerome. Then he murdered. They found Vincent's eyelash in the venue, and then they found out it was belonged to invalid named Vincent. So they were kind of sure it was the invalid who murdered that man. They were so focused on Vincent being murderer at first, and they started looking for him. At Gattaca, the places where invalid work, then even the city, but Vincent was finding a way to escape every time from the blood test that detectives were doing to everyone to find who is the murderer. They couldn't find him even though he was still in Gattaca because they were only looking the blood test, like DNA. Finally, they suspect Jerome, the fake one, who is Vincent. So they thought Jerome is the killer. Detectives went to Vincent's house, but they found the real Jerome. So the last blood test was saying that Jerome is valid. It was the most excited part of this movie, I think, because I get really excited. It was a really nice thing. The last thing that stuck in my mind is that while I was getting closer to the end of the movie, detectives found out that it wasn't the invalid who did the murder. So they were wrong about their suspects on Vincent. The older detective proved it to younger one that Vincent was innocent. Then the younger one went to speak with fake Jerome, who is Vincent, and we found out he was Vincent's brother Anton. It was really shocking, and Anton understood that Jerome was actually Vincent. They got into a discussion, like two brothers got into a discussion, and Anton was so sure that his brother didn't fit the Gattaca and Saturn mission. He told Vincent that he let Vincent won in their last swimming race, the race which changed everything for Vincent. They decided to do one last race to see if Vincent was good enough to win. While they were swimming, Anton saw his brother by his side whenever he checked. But Vincent didn't give up. Although his brother is genetically better swimmer than him, finally Anton couldn't keep swimming and stopped, and it means that Vincent won the race, and asked Vincent how he was doing it, and Vincent said, "I don't say anything to swim back, Anton. This is how I came here." As we see, DNA is not everything. Anton, even Anton is understood it too, and in the end, mentally ill and genetically perfect Jerome killed himself, and Vincent went to Saturn mission with a fake ID of Jerome. As we see in this film, genes doesn't mean everything. If it was true, Vincent wouldn't achieve his goal. He couldn't win the race against his brother, and Jerome wouldn't kill himself. It was the one aspect we got from the movie. Also, achieving your goal needs determination, passion, working hard. It's more than your DNA or your abilities. Another theme was showing us that everything is possible. It doesn't matter how far your goals are or how hard it is to reach your goal. Vincent showed this by accomplishing this goal in the movie. Every parent wish to have a perfect child in nowadays, and so that perfection bring happiness to them, to their child. So another theme comes up with this, aspect in this life. Perfection doesn't mean happiness. When everything is perfect, being perfect is not something worthy or different anymore. Like the employees in Gattaca, they're all genetically perfect, but they don't seem like they're happy. When you reach everything you want to reach, living has no meaning, and you don't have any other mission. Life becomes empty of feelings. Firstly, I like this movie. I like it too much. I think it's really creative, and it watchers think about the future and think about things we wish to have, like perfection. The songs were really good, and the producers described environment really good. Actors were great. They gave the feelings to us. But however, there are things I didn't like in the movie too. Firstly, they didn't give any detail about how Vincent found the guy who helped him to become a Jerome, have a fake ID. And also I found the role of Vincent's girlfriend, so I didn't mention about her because it was so unnecessary. I found it so unnecessary. It was just for getting attention, by love and sexuality, which is something I don't like at movies. Vincent's weaknesses was his DNA, but his strength was being brave. No matter what happens, he was so brave. A weakness may cause a strength. Thank you for listening me. I wish you will like the movie when you watch it.